Hey kittens! What's up guys, welcome back to Mad City Basics. This is part 2 of 4 in which we will be covering teams as well as vehicles. Part 1 was how to escape prison, which is already out, go watch that if you haven't watched it yet. But this video covers teams and vehicles, and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so when I upload part 3 and 4 you don't miss those, cause that would be a shame, wouldn't it? So as a cop, you have one job, and that one job is to arrest criminals. Now, you are given some tools you can use to achieve that. These include the handcuffs and the tasers. Now, it is worth mentioning that you're also given lethal weapons if you're outnumbered and in any dire circumstances or against villains. Now, I don't recommend going after villains. We have another team that does that better. But basically, your job is to use the taser, which actually requires a lot of aim. And once the taser bolt hits, they will be stunned for a certain amount of time, so you can walk up to them and handcuff them easier. And you just do that by walking up to them with handcuffs equipped and holding E. It's pretty self-explanatory. And now, another notable mention on the police team, which I am just about to show you, is the police dog. Now, this is good for people who can aim as well, or people who are playing especially on trackpad. So this is basically an auto taser with a cooldown. It bites criminals, stunning them for a certain amount of time. Now, dog levels don't actually do anything currently. They would maybe in chapter 2, but yeah, that's basically it for the police team. Let's move on to prisoners. Now, as a prisoner, you have one job and one job only, and that one job should be pretty simple to understand. Escape. Just escape. That's it. I've already covered all the ways to escape in my previous video. There will be a card linked up here, so go watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. That basically lists out all the ways to escape prison. Now, here's one thing I didn't show in that video, and it's a pretty nice escape trick. And, well, it's been a while since I played the game, alright? Give me a break. Basically, what you want to do is hop on this tree, and once you hop up on the tree, immediately go forward, like hold forward. So yeah, you basically jump up on this thing, then just walk up to this overhang, like awning type deal over the bathrooms, and then you can just jump over the prison wall, spawn a boat, and be on your merry way. And this, once you escape, once you go past a certain border, your team automatically switches to becoming a criminal. Now, it's worth mentioning, if you die within a certain radius of the prison, even if you are a criminal, you respawn as a prisoner, so just be careful of that one thing. And that's it for prisoners. Let's start covering criminals. Ah yes, the good old criminal team. Now, as a criminal, or thief more fittingly, your job is to rob stuff, as you might assume. And there are many heists around the map, some being mini heists and some being full heists. Now, I've done part 1 of covering some of the heists in Mad City, but I never did actually upload a part 2 to that. But don't worry. Part 3 or 4, I don't remember right now because I'm just that smart, will be a full video covering every single heist in Mad City. So once again, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss that. As you can see, as a criminal, you're the only person, anything that says steal, rob, break, like swipe, anything that says that in its e-prompt, you can only do as a criminal. And as you can see, these ones give you money instantly, but some of the other heists, you actually have to go back to criminal base and stand on like the inner pad of the housing, so the money actually cashes in. But this is a mini heist, so it instantly credits the money. And you can also kill heroes as well as cops on this team, and you can kill heroes and take their power to become a villain. I'm gonna get more into that later, but that's it for criminals. Let's move on to heroes. Alright, here we are in the heroes base. The one team every tryhard chooses to use. It's great, isn't it? Now, as a hero, your job is to capture and kill villains, and you can also kill criminals, but I recommend going for villains since police already kind of got criminals, and Come on, you gotta be additive, not repetitive, alright? So let's just have a look at what all the powers do. Now this one, as you can see, it shot arrows, it can double jump. We all know Hot Rod, it's just super speed run, it's the Flash. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that he can run on water. Yes, this is like, I think the only thing that lets your character run on, or even walk on water without any kind of vehicle. And the next power we have is Inferno. Now, Inferno can fly and shoot fireballs. Now, the way you fly is basically just equip your power. You have to equip your power and double tap space. So, you basically want to double jump and then you start flying. And to disable flying, you just do the same thing, double tap space, and you basically fly whatever direction you're looking. So you want to go up, just look up at the ceiling, and if you want to go down, left, right, you basically just look in that direction. Alright, so next we have this guy, and basically, yeah, he just shoots laser beams out of his head. And this is one of the worst powers in game. Don't pick this guy, come on, it's so bad. First of all, the built-in weapon isn't even that good, and he has no other special abilities, like, come on. Alright, next we have Vanta. Now, Dark Energy, it's basic, it's decent, but the special thing is you can go full invisible for a set amount of time until there's a cooldown, but this way nobody else can see you, it's very useful. Alright, next we have Electron. This has the highest mag size power in the game. You can just keep shooting. Each bolt only does 4 damage though. And as you can see, if you hit sprint, you also run super fast, faster than a normal sprint. Alright, so Frostbite, oh god, I hate this power so much. It's the one all tryhards use. It basically has an MP5 machine gun built into it with a lower mag size. And if you hold space, you can see you get those tiles underneath you. So you can hold shift and you can just run anywhere. You can run up buildings. You can run up like anywhere you want. And that's what makes it so annoying. If you alternate this running like thing, because you don't have to have your power equipped to run, you can run up with a shotgun in your hand. And that's how many of them, or an RPG, that's how many of them criminal base. Anyway, talking about the Titan, we have the Repulsor. This is the one thing all noobs use because each hit does 25 damage. It destroys, it shreds. And same deal here, you tap double jump to fly. It does have a more limited range though, but this, if you're just be starting out, use this power. And this leaves us with our final team, Villains. Now, villains, I actually couldn't become a villain for this video, but you see them on the bottom of the leaderboard. To become a villain, what you do, and I wasn't able to get the crystal, but basically when you kill a hero, they have a certain chance of dropping a crystal, and as a criminal, if you go up to it, hold E, you become a villain, and that lets you get access to the villain base, which is right next to the gun. It's not right next to, it's close to the gun store. It's that big, like, metal door thing that's pretty obvious, as all villain things are. So that basically lets you get one of the hero powers, or there are 3 unique villain powers. One is a flying one is an invisible one, and I forget what the other one is because it's pretty insignificant, so I recommend you pick either the green one or the invisible one. And unfortunately, yeah, I couldn't be a villain for this video, but it allows you to rob heists with powers, basically, to make them easier. But you do have to kill a hero to get those powers, so that's basically it for villains. And let's move on to the second part of this video, which is vehicles. So, vehicle basics. WASD to drive, E to enter, that's it. So let's talk about vehicles in specifics. So there are 3 main classes: cars, air vehicles, boat/water vehicles, and these have their own subcategories. Now, that's the Camaro, that's the basic car you start with, and here is literally the cheapest vehicle in game. It's the jet ski. It's the second water vehicle you can unlock, and it's always the first thing I make or the first purchase I make when I go on a new account, but it's your choice. It's definitely better than the built-in boat, I'll give it that. It's quite a bit faster, quite a bit more maneuverable. And this is the best boat in the game. I made a whole video dedicated to if this was worth it or not. And this is 500,000 game money. And it's the Hydro boat. And as you can see, it's way faster, it's way more agile. And This is really good, I would say, for fleeing people, especially in cars if they don't have air vehicles. And speaking of air vehicles, let's talk about them. Now, this is the cheapest helicopter in game that you can buy and you can spawn, not including the police copter. It's the Scout. I would say once you get this, the way you change the game is completely different. The way you play the game is completely different because it just levels up the experience so much. Now, to talk about subcategories of air vehicles, or subcategories of land vehicles, let's first talk about. You have land vehicles with mounted weapons on them. So as you can see, this thing has a minigun built into it, and it's been super fast. It's basically a gun. It does 10 damage, it kills super fast, it pops tires super fast, but you can not use it while you're driving. You need a buddy. But there's the Knight Rider. Now this is my all-time favorite land vehicle because you have a turret you can control while you're driving. You don't even have to get out of the car to have a gunfight. It's so useful. Please, there's literally no way you can die in this unless you have unless the other person has explosives. Now, speaking of air vehicle subcategories, this is one of the best air vehicles in game. It's the biggest helicopter with the best weapon system. It's the Cobra. It costs 2 million. I believe each missile does 60 damage, but I'm not exactly sure. Now, you can see the white box in the middle of the screen, right? So basically how you use a missile is it locks onto someone, and it'll change color depending on that, and once it's red, that means it's fully locked. Each color has its own state. Go check that on the Mad City wiki, but that's basically it for vehicles. Unfortunately, there are no turret-mounted boats at this time. Maybe in Chapter 2, who knows. And I hope you enjoyed. If you did, as always, leave a like, subscribe, and bye!